I can spend so much time on social media. I need some great time savers.
The first is to be organized, because if you go into it knowing, whether it's just knowing how many posts you're going to be doing that week or that day, whether it's setting yourself up knowing what content you want to have. For myself, I like to spend Sunday mornings sometimes with a cup of coffee and just literally organizing my social media and saying, okay, here are the posts that I know I want to do. I might not know what the exact content is, but I might say, I want to do two images this week. I want to make sure I'm sharing one blog. Just having an idea of what you want to do can save you so much time, because otherwise you sit there and you're thinking, what do I want to post? What type of content? And you can just waste so much time just thinking. I think if you refer back to your goals and make sure that you're staying on top of those, that will also help you, because you won't be, looking at it thinking, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? You'll have a little bit more specificity in your mind. And I think that can be really helpful. Additionally, scheduling posts, which we've talked about with Facebook, it is so easy. You can schedule right within the post. Some of the other tools, Twitter, you can schedule on Twitter, which is great. Instagram, you cannot. And so a lot of people run into that as an issue, and they decide to use an outside social media management software. Hootsuite is one of the really popular tools, and I know it's a little more affordable. If you're also looking to do things like sending emails or write blogs, I definitely recommend Hubspot. Definitely is a little bit pricier, but their tool set and platform I think is unrivaled. But additionally, if you're linking your social media, so, you can go, if you don't have your Facebook linked to Twitter, you can go to facebook.com/Twitter.
Okay.
And all you'll have to do is type in your login information. It will then bring you right to Twitter. And if you're already signed in there, it'll just auto-populate for you. You just click connect, which is great. So if you post to Instagram, you can choose to immediately share to Facebook, to Twitter, and you're not having to go into every single platform for that. Facebook will auto-link so that anytime you post on Facebook, it'll post immediately to Twitter. And you can do it the other way around, where you can have all your tweets to post to Facebook. I don't recommend it, because no one wants to see, hundreds of short little blurbs on Facebook.
And especially since it doesn't really work well if you're trying to get that rich content, which
Right,
you talked about
exactly.
earlier, which is you want video, you want images, just so that it keeps that engagement.
Yes, absolutely. Another thing that I think can be a really big time saver is staying on top of best practices and any changes, because if you haven't signed in for a couple days and you sign in, there's been a whole update and you don't know where to go, that can put everybody in a bind. And I know Facebook is notorious for making big changes to their software.
So then who can you follow?
There are several that I recommend sort of within the marketing. One is Larry Kim, who I had mentioned as well in a previous segment. He's local to Boston. You can find him on Twitter at Larry Kim. And he's just phenomenal with tips and time savers, as well as letting people know what's coming. Another one who I recommend, who's on everything across the board as well, is Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a little intense sometimes if you start watching his videos. I actually find it really motivating, but he seems to know everything before it happens on social media. Another is with Hubspot. They actually have a free marketing blog, and I think it's one of the best assets out there. You can just search in Google for the HubSpot marketing blog, and it's great. It's a daily blog delivered to your email, and I usually know from the headline whether it's something that I'm interested in or not. Who are the leaders in your market, in your industry, and making sure you're following them, because chances are they're going to give a lot of great insight. Additionally, within Facebook, LinkedIn, I recommend following the CEOs, because you can follow Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook. You can follow the CEO of LinkedIn, and he often gives great tips and talks a lot about what's happening. And I think that's a really great way to both stay current and know exactly what's coming and what changes to expect and anticipate and how to prepare for them, which I think is really important. Lastly, I know a lot of people ask about Facebook groups, and one thing that I've heard really recently is that they're less effective because they've become so common,
right,
and so over the top and busy. We call MLMs, the multi-level marketing, and it's like the Stell and Dot or the
right,
LuLaRoe, and they're so predominant on social media. But the problem is people are getting so sick of them. They say, I have 100 requests for these groups, or people keep adding me to these
right,
groups. Definitely create a group, based upon the topic. But if you do, one of the best things to do is to make it private. Invite a few people. Yes, but create that sort of buzz so people have to request to join the group, because...
So maybe keep that only within your valued customers.
Absolutely.
Or your...
Well, and like for you, if you were going to create a Facebook group, you could kind of do it perhaps based on the show. So it's, surrounding each expert that you have on in that topic, and people can
So
choose
for
to join
example,
if that's something
this
they
one's
need.
social media. So I can create a group on social media
Yes, absolutely.
and then have people come and join in to find out more. And
Definitely, and if people have questions or, they can talk amongst themselves, oh, hey, this has worked for me, this worked, this didn't work so well. It can be a really great way to come together and work together to find out what's been beneficial and what hasn't worked so well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I've learned so much about social media and how to become more effective and to just be able to be more active but save time and to use my resources more effectively. So thank you very much, Lauren. I
Thank you so
really
much for
appreciate you
having
being
me.
on this Mom Needs Help. Thanks for being on the show. Watch one of these This Mom Needs Help videos to learn how to use social media to promote you and your business better and faster.